Cool. Okay, we're recording. Hey guys, welcome to our weekly webinar for Body Electric. We have these every Wednesday night. We're heading into summer. We're still going to have these calls every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock, but I did want to go over a few announcements with you guys before we jump to our guest speaker. So the first thing I want to mention, I live streamed in the team page yesterday, and hopefully you saw it. If not, check it out. It's probably buried somewhere in the team page. I talked a little bit about this Stronger Together training that we have coming up starting Tuesday. So if you did not catch that live stream or you didn't see the recording, make sure that you make that a priority to watch that to see if this training might be something you're interested in. And if you are interested, make sure you email me with your interest. So don't just Facebook message me or text me. Please send me an email with your interest. And then the only other thing I wanted to make sure that I mentioned today is if you're not looped into like the Indiana Beachbody Coaches page, or if you're not local, you may not have seen that we have a trainer coming, a celebrity trainer coming to our next Super Saturday. So it'll actually be on Sunday, August 7th from 9 a.m. to noon. We have Tony Horton coming back to Indiana, which will be really exciting and really fun. It'll be the weekend after Summit. So make sure you write that down on your calendar. I think the tickets go on sale June 4th, so you can be on the lookout for that. So, and Erin's nodding, so I think that's right. So just wanted to make sure I mentioned both of those things to you so that you could get them on your calendar and kind of tune into those two things. But other than that, I don't have anything. I'm just going to hand it over to Erin. I'm really excited that she's here. A little background, she's been on our team call before. And I don't know when that was. It's probably been about a year, maybe even longer ago. But Erin and I have recently started working together, I guess you could say, as success rock stars. And we're both going through the Marketing Impact Academy together with Shalene Johnson and keeping each other motivated and uplifted and encouraged every single day, because no matter how successful you are in this business, you still need a little uplifting and a little encouragement. So it's been really awesome to work with her. We balance each other out really well. She's always got perfect eyeliner, and yeah, I don't know what I've got, but she's got perfect eyeliner. So anyway, so I'm going to hand it over to her. Tonight she's going to talk to us about the 4 truths of coaching, right? Like, I think this is going to be great because first of all, you know, rank is cool, like 10 stars. She's got multiple diamonds, so more than 10 diamonds on her team. But what's even cooler is where she's headed. And I know for sure that just in talking to her every week, I know that she's headed to the top of this business. I know that she's headed to the top of the network. And so I'm just excited that you guys get the opportunity to hear from her now as she's growing, as we're all growing. And I know that we could probably learn a lot from what she has to share. So with that, Erin, I'm going to hand it over to you, and I'll just let you take it away. So we'll keep all questions for the very end. So just please refrain from messaging until we get to the end. Thanks, guys.
Oh, you know, hi, you guys. I need to close my Facebook window because then we'll get all these beeps and whatevers right throughout. Okay, so sorry. I had to think about that first. Hi, you guys. Thanks so much for having me. And I'm really appreciative of you being here and making the time to embrace your tribe and your family tonight, because I do know that I think this time of year is mega crazy hard. No matter where you are in your life, there's just so much going on in May. And I mean, the sun's still shining. Well, not really shining, but it's still bright out at my house. So I'm really proud of you for being here, because I really do think that you have an amazing leader in Jenny leading you and your other, you know, leaders within your team. And anytime you can plug in to what they have to share, you are going to grow. You're going to glean something from that. And so making things like this a priority is huge. And so I just want to commend you for being here, because it's more than important. It really is. You know, it's a social media based business, and we get so much energy from others in our relationships. And so being here is part of that. So thank you. Thanks for making the time. So I'm Erin Young, and, you know, Jenny and I are working together, and I kind of said, you know, what does your team need? What do they need to hear? And, you know, she said they need to hear your story and just kind of any advice you have to offer right now. And so I'm like, all right, let's do this, you know? But I'm in this interesting place right now where I'm in between a vision. Okay. And I'm going to talk to you guys about vision tonight. And the reason why I'm in between a vision, okay, in between, like, I had a vision that drove me in this business for 2 years, and that dream came true. And so I've been in the process of creating a new one, and that's a weird place. And so what I've realized is not having a strong specific vision has actually created a little bit of a stall, right, in my growth as a coach and my growth on my team and everything like that. And so just in the past week, it happened. The heavens parted, and I found it again. And so I'm feeling really revived and rejuvenated and just ready to make it happen. And so it's really cool. So, but before I get into that, so a little bit about me is I have been coaching for 4 years, and I had no idea at all that there was a business opportunity here within this business, even though I signed up as a coach immediately. And I signed up as a coach immediately because I was very attracted to a discount, but I was more attracted to being a part of something. Okay. And I think that's something maybe we don't always think about when we're talking to other people about the business. I was always like, I was in a sorority, and I was always an athlete, and in high school and college, and I was always a part of something. And then like a lot of us, when we grow up and we get into the real world, we kind of start giving a lot to other people, whether it be children or husbands or jobs or whatever, and we lose a little bit of ourselves. And I was totally, completely lost. And I really loved the title of coach because it made me feel like an athlete again without being in shape, right? And it also connected me to some people that I really looked up to, like my coach, Tracy. And I thought she'd had something figured out that I was trying to figure out, and I wanted whatever that was. I was like, I'm in, and so, but I was really excited about the connection to other women. I was really excited about the connection to people who I felt like could lift me higher. And that's exactly what I needed. And so don't forget about that when you're chatting and you're thinking about people who may need this business opportunity for more than a challenge group, for more than a discount. They might need a tribe, and I really try to share that and to focus on that when I'm putting my energy into the universe, that you're going to come to this team and you're not just going to like have this crazy cool, amazing business opportunity, but you're going to be a part of something bigger than yourself. And I think most people in our lives are looking for something like that. Okay. So anyway, back to the nitty gritty here. I kind of like to tell stories. I was a high school English teacher for 14 years. And that's how I met the Swishers, because I met Chris first at working at the same high school, which is where I met my husband. There's just love in the air at that school, I tell you what. You come to that school and you just might fall in love. So that's how I got connected to Jenny and Chris, and not just with Beachbody. I mean, I knew them before then. And so I was a high school English teacher for 14 years. My husband is still a high school teacher and a coach. And I retired officially retired from that job just like in the last 2 weeks. I was on a 1-year career exploration where I saw if this worked. That's kind of like the safety net of you can take a year off and we'll hold your contract and you can come back if you want to. Well, I was like, I'm not coming back. So I'm officially done, like DONE, and I'm a girl boss forever. I'm going to be a coach forever. And so I'm really excited about that. And that's something that I'm not taking lightly. That was my first dream that came true. I really had no idea that was possible whatsoever. So, so I got to this point in my coaching when I sat in the seats of the elite seats at Summit 2 years ago. I was a guest of Julie Boris's. And to be quite honest, I had no idea why the heck she had me be her guest, why I was sitting next to her and whatever. But for whatever reason, sitting there, not necessarily next to her, but being immersed in this elite culture, but seeing people walk across the stage and being recognized for amazing things that they've done in their lives and telling their stories, and seeing them experience such financial freedom was something that was life-changing for me, because I went to Summit 2 years ago as a 1-star diamond coach. And I was so proud of that. Like, I was like, oh, cool, I'm a 1-star, and I've got my friend Erica, and she's a diamond, and we're having fun, and we're in Vegas, and we're just taking it all in. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. There is more to this. Like, there's way more to this. I had no idea what was possible. Because to be quite honest, I thought I had to be like other leaders in this business, right? I thought I had to look like them or be like them or teach your fitness or whatever to make this work. But then I saw all these other people that were all just normal, everyday, ordinary people that like I totally be friends with, or I was like, hey, why not me? And that's when it hit me. So that was 2 years ago, sitting at Summit. And I came home and I told my husband, I was like, I'm going for it. And he thought I was crazy. He had all this doubt, and there were tears and fights and whatever. I mean, it was not pretty. And, but what happened when I sat there is I saw that I could do it too. I saw that I could do it too. Like, I could see myself walking across the stage being recognized for these amazing accomplishments in a business that I really loved. But at Summit, I saw the bigger picture because I didn't understand that there was a bigger picture. And I didn't see that I could do that too. And so that's when the dream started. And that's when I said, you know what, in 2 years, my son will be ready for kindergarten and I want to be there. You know, I felt in my heart like I wanted to be the mom that could be more present, that could put her son on the bus, that could get him off the bus. And a lot of you have heard me share that, but it was there at Summit where it kind of clicked that like, I can do this too. Why not me? And all I knew is I needed to be elite. That's for whatever reason I got that in my head. And then I realized my team could do it and we went for it and it was pretty cool and we made it happen. So my vision, which was the first one, you know, was this, and this came true. And if you follow me on social media, you may have seen this photo before, but you know, this is when it all happens. Like, this is for 2 years, I stayed up late. I got up early. I doubted myself. I cried. I wanted to quit. I seriously just had so many doubters and naysayers and haters, and I lost friendships, and but it was worth it, right? It's always worth it. It's worth it when you can make something happen like this that moves mountains, you know, something that's bigger than you, that creates an experience bigger than you. And we have that, you know, with this business. And so I'm going to talk to you about like what I've learned in the past few years about being a coach and just the truths. You know, I love Lewis Howes, you know, you probably do too because of Jenny, right? But he always asks people at the end of his podcast, like, you know, if you were to die and you know you didn't have anything left behind or whatever, what do you know to be true? And so these are some of my truths when it comes to coaching. You know, this is what I know to be true. So the first one is vision. You've got to have a vision. And our vision is something that is kind of like the why that makes you cry. But literally when I say your vision, it's not just your vision for your business, but it's your vision for your life. And it's not just like, I'm going to have a house in the country with horses and chickens. Because seriously, like right now, that's part of my vision. You. How's that going to impact your life? How's it going to make you feel? Like, it's the vision that creates the picture in your head, but also creates an emotional reaction. And so it's really hard to keep going when the going gets tough when you have no vision. It really is. I mean, most coaches get to this 3 to 4 month mark and they either keep going or they quit. And I have so many coaches at that point right now. And I have some that have quit. The coach cancellations coming through make me nauseous, so I kind of stopped checking my email. Or I have others that are doubting themselves. They're still at SC0, but they're like, but I can do this. I can do this. They have vision. And so we cannot push forward without a vision when the going gets tough, because this is not an easy business, but it's a business that's so fulfilling and it's so worth it. And our coaches who aren't pushing forward when the going gets tough lack a vision, or number 2, what I believe to be true, okay, is they lack belief in themselves, okay? We can't confidently seek our vision if we don't have belief. And I think that takes work, okay? I don't wake up every day and say, I am a freaking rock star. No, I have to tell myself that until I believe it. I don't wake up every day and say, man, it's going to be an awesome day. Like, I can feel it. No, I have to say it out loud. In fact, I think I sent Jenny a text this morning that was like, today's going to be amazing. And you know why I did that? Because I knew today was going to be really hard. Okay. That's why I did that. Because I knew today was going to be really hard. So I have to build belief, and I build belief with me, like I build belief through positive self-affirmations, through personal development. Like you know this to be true. But I didn't always do personal development. I mean, I heard it for a few years, like I needed to be doing it. And I would every now and then I'd catch a call or whatever, but I was never really immersed in books like I have been in the past year. I've never been immersed in really, really working on myself until the past year. And it's really hard to pursue your vision if you don't believe that you can accomplish it, or that you're worthy of it, or you're deserving of it. And that's the same thing with our coaches, so when you have coaches that are lacking vision or fight, or just that tenacity to go for something, it's probably a lack of belief, and that's something that maybe we can help them with. And how do you instill belief in someone? I don't know what works for you. I think it's different for every person, and it's sometimes trial and error and experiment. But that's what I know to be true. It's like nearly impossible to get up every day and go after something that's scary. And if you don't believe, I love the word believe so much. I tattooed it on my arm, for crying out loud. Like, it's my word. Okay. It's so simple. I mean, but Justin Bieber has it on his arm too. So I'm not sure. Like, it's kind of creepy, right? I think mine means way more than his song. Okay. So, this is the third one, and this is my mega truth. Okay, mega truth meaning, like, I'll probably talk about this for a little bit longer than I need to, but mindset. Our mindset is everything. Okay, like I had a coach message me last night freaking out about something that was not freak out worthy, and I just said, so-and-so, your mindset in this situation is everything. Our mindset is, it's everything. It affects everything around us and everyone around us, and our environment and our perspective and everything. Okay. But there's three main types of mindsets that I've purposely been working on. Okay. And the one mindset is the abundance mindset. Okay. I grew up in small town Indiana, where I my mom said that I should have been on free and reduced lunch, but she didn't want me to be labeled like that. Because where I went to school, it was really clear who was on free and reduced lunch. And it was kind of you would be labeled, okay, as such. I watched my dad file bankruptcy of his small business, and, cried. I watched my dad cry because he had no idea how he was going to make it, to pay for my brother's hospital bills and just like lots of things. Like, so I grew up without abundance, but also with parents and grandparents that did not have an abundance mindset. They had a scarcity mindset. It wasn't just a mediocrity thing, but it was just like, there's never enough kind of thing, and there was a someday we'll take you to Disney. Someday you can have dance lessons or music lessons, or someday, and there was never, the some days never came. Okay. And so, I realized really early on in this business that I was feeling guilty about wanting more. I should be fine with this. I should be okay with this. But actually it's absolutely 100% okay to grow more, to earn more, to help more people, to grow your business. Because the direct result of us helping more and growing more is that we are affecting more people's lives. Like, what's the direct result of us growing more in this business? Well, it's because we're changing lives of more people, and that's what I love most about this. But we have to realize that we're worth it, and our dreams matter, and it's absolutely 100% okay to grow and to seek to surpass mediocrity. It's absolutely 100% okay. And I had to get over that, because I should be happy being a teacher, right? I should be happy living in a beautiful home in a great neighborhood. I should be happy teaching in a district that some people would say is a dream job. There's a lot of shoulds, right? I should be. I think Amy Snow today said you should all over yourself, right? Okay. But anyway, I just realized that, I was allowing other people's expectations of me to guide my future, right? And I realized that it wasn't their expectations that was supposed to guide my future. It was me. And I felt really guilty for coming to my husband and saying, I want to do this full time. I felt bad about wanting that because I didn't have this abundant mindset that I deserved more, that I could be more, and that I could do more. I didn't have that within me. And so it was really, it was through PD that I realized that that's okay. And to be quite honest, good Lord, if we didn't grow every year. Like, seriously, I feel like every single year of our lives should be better. I feel like every single year of our lives we should be wiser, we should be smarter. Well, and we're definitely going to be more beautiful if we keep going on the path that we're on, right? Seriously, every year should be better, not the same or stagnant or worse. Like, every year we deserve to be better, and we should be, because if we're not, then we're just staying in one place, and there's nothing awesome about that. But people who are successful, they're always growing, and they have this mindset of abundance. And even when they're not living in abundance, their mindset is abundance. You may be broke as a joke right now, or you might be going through some of the craziest crap of your life. And you can either focus on the negativity of that, or that I don't have anything, or you can say, you know what, I have everything I need to succeed right here. I just have to do something with it. That's that abundant mindset. In Lisa Nichols' book, she has a book called Abundance Now. She tells a story about how she and her son, she's a single mom on food stamps, and she and her son were eating beanie weenies like every night for dinner, okay? Cracking the can, having beanie weenies. And they would sit in the kitchen and they would talk about their feast. And this amazing feast before them, and they would make up all the people who were sitting down and having dinner with them. And she said our dinners were the most fun. They had that they would dream the most during their dinners about what they would be and who would be having dinner with them, because they were living in abundance. It didn't matter if they were having beanie weenies. They didn't focus on, I just have beanie weenies. What they weren't focusing on what they don't have, but they sat there and they just imagined all the abundant things in their lives. And so I just love that so much. Okay, so we have to be abundant. And you have to realize you deserve that and never feel guilty for that. Okay, so the second one is the 2% mindset. The 2% mindset. And I've also seen this called the CEO mindset, but I've kind of just called it the 2% mindset. But to give you an idea of what this means, when we went on the cruise in Jamaica, and we or on the cruise and we stopped in Jamaica, you got to pick an excursion. And, the first one we stopped in Bahamas, we just went to the beach. I was like, Mama needs our toes in the sands and some fruity drinks. Okay. That's all Mama needs. So I'm going to the beach. Well, in Jamaica, we were ready for more action. Okay. So we put our Brave on and we took part in the Ultimate Thrill Seekers Adventure. Okay. We went ziplining and river rafting and dune buggying and drank some rum, and I don't remember what else we did, but it was crazy. Like, we had no idea where we were going. We got on this bus with someone who said they were taking us here, and we are like, okay, let's just do it. We were totally in the 2%. We were doing something we would never normally do. We were being brave. We were being courageous. We were absolutely out of our comfort zone. My hands were sweating, and I was like, I was a mess doing this zip lining. I was over the trees and the river in Jamaica, and I'm like, just safe, I was all my doubt, my fear was all up in here, and I was, a mess. But I jumped off that platform and screamed, and it was totally fine. And when I got to the end of that platform, I went to the next one and did it again, and I did it again. And by the end of it, I was like, that was awesome. It felt amazing. Because I was doing something I was terrified of doing. And I was doing something I never would have normally done. And I was totally living in my 2%. I was out of my comfort zone. And so when we live in our 2%, we're doing what leaders do. We're doing what people who are successful do. Every action verb you can think of, we're doing it. Okay. We're embracing, we're elevating, we're empowering, we're inspiring, we're inviting, we're recruiting, we're building, we're leading, all of those verbs that you can think of, that's what we're doing. Okay. Because 2% people, they do something every day. They are action oriented people. And they do it even if it's scary. And they do it even if it's something that is, I don't know, they don't really know what the outcome's going to be. I didn't know if the line was going to break, but I was like, whatever, I'm just going to do it because I'm living in my 2%. And so that's what successful coaches do. They're going to try something new, even though they have absolutely no idea how it's going to turn out. I mean, like Jenny and I going through MIA, you guys, like, yes, like whatever, Monday, Shalene's like, so next week we're going to make money. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yes, I want to make some money. She's like, we're going to sell something. And I was like, shit, what? And I think she called it a baby offer. I was like, what's a baby offer? Like, and I messaged Jenny, I'm like, this is too much. This is just, I don't know about this. Like, seriously. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm like, so we're going to do this, right? She's like, yeah, we're going to do this. You know, I was like, that's 2%. I mean, never ever would I have said, yeah, I think next week I'll make some money. Okay. Selling something, like, I don't know, you know? So the 98% is everybody else. Those are all the people that are just chilling out in suburbia. Okay, in their homes, just watching whatever's on TV right now. I don't even know anymore. That's 98%. They know what's going on with The Voice, if that's still on, or The Bachelor, or they read 50 Shades of Grey. Like that's what they do. That's 98%. And but we read John Maxwell, and we get on Zoom calls after our kids go to bed. And, you know, we get off this call and we work a power hour, even though we're tired and we want to go to bed. Or, you know, we don't drink that glass of wine because we made a commitment to our challenge group. That's at least what I'm saying to myself. Okay, so that's 2%. Or a margarita. So the last one is the business mindset. And this is when I had to work on huge, big time. Okay, huge business mindset. Because I didn't own the fact that I was a business owner until probably, I don't know, like maybe last year. You know, I wasn't like, I own a business. I am a business owner. And I'm the CEO of that business. I didn't own that. Like, I really didn't get it. And so the people who are successful in this business, they have that business mindset. And I think there's some really, you know, strong action items that you can kind of fit into this category and what that means. So first of all, I really do think that as a business owner, we have to be informed of the business model of Team Beachbody. I really do. And that's something that I really suck at fine print and details. And so that's something I've delegated to my husband, David. And I've said, can you please figure this out? Like, I need to know how we get paid, what this team cycle bonus thing is. Like, that has been his thing. And I think he's done a call for you guys. So, you know, like, be informed of the business. Like, don't be like, well, I think, I don't know, like Emerald, like, it's cool, you know, but I think there's this bonus thing, you know, know it. I mean, seriously, like if you're really wanting to move in this business, please understand what it means, like to even be an owner of this business and what the model looks like. It's just going to help you so much. And there's going to be so many more ways you can, you know, capitalize on the way it's the structure. I also think that you have to work really hard to realize that, and this is if you want to go somewhere, okay? I assume you want to go somewhere with this. You're not just a health and fitness coach. You're not just a challenge group leader, but you're also a business mentor for others. And that might be scary, but that's what's cool about being part of a team, because you have others that can help you with this part until you're comfortable with it. This just kind of happened naturally to me. No one taught me how to build a business or to be smart about my business or to build it strategically. I figured it all through trial and error and made a lot of mistakes along the way. And you are so lucky to be on a team that you have others to teach you, you know, and you're part of this downline that's really awesome with just amazing leaders. But you are a business mentor. You can help someone create a career. Like, that is so amazing. And I think it's really empowering. And it's one of the major blessings of this business. And it might be scary. And you might be sitting here, I don't know, maybe you're just a new coach, but that's really awesome that you could do that. But like and that's why I'm saying, like, when I'm inviting, I'm putting that vibe out into the universe, when I'm on social media, I'm really trying to be very aware of the fact that I can help someone create a career. Like, I can help someone create a business by a simple invitation. And that's part of my thing too, because that wasn't shared with me. Like, I wonder what if a lot, what if I would have known about this opportunity a lot sooner? But that's really cool. Like, don't ever like negate that or think like I'm not successful enough, so I can't really call myself a business mentor, or I don't have the tools yet or the experience yet. No. I mean, you are, if you are a coach, you are a business mentor. You have the capabilities, the tools, and the resources to help someone create a career, and that is really awesome. And that's how you move up in this business, is by helping others build their business. So that's something we need to own. Okay. And the last thing is that I really do think that you need a team of people that help you with your business. And you kind of know when the time is right for this. And when I say you need a team of people, what I mean by that is like people to do the things that you're not good at, like delegating things. Okay. And it doesn't even have to be like hiring them out. Like, I think of my coach, Jenny Fellows, who has a 13-year-old daughter who's amazing with social media. And she is always sitting around looking for something to do, right? I mean, so there's lots of tasks in our business that we can't do everything. And there's lots of like little small things like bookkeeping, accounting, managing, organizing. I don't know. There's all kinds of little things that we're not good at. Like, I suck at accounting. I suck at finances. I am not good with returning emails. I'm not good at being on like posting on social media consistently. And there are days that I kind of take off. And so I have a team of people that help me. And you may think I'm crazy because you might be like, well, I'm just an emerald, or I'm just a new diamond, or whatever. But the moment that we start investing in our business, it will return. It will pay you back. Because when you can spend time on building relationships, and when you can spend time loving on the people who've said yes to you, or building relationships and connecting with people, that is going to be priceless, and so kind of think about that. And that's something I just want to challenge you to process. Is there something that you're doing that someone else can do as well, or just as good? Is there something that you're doing that your spouse or significant other or best friend could help you with? Is there something that, your neighbor, little girl down the street, or I don't know, somebody can come and watch your kids for a little bit on a Saturday, or, I don't know, like there's things that people can do that help you. And there's so many people in your life that want to help you and support you and don't know how. My husband, the moment that I gave him a job, just like gave him some kind of like, I was like, I need your help. I was like, really? And invited him to be a part of my business. It really changed everything, because I was kind of keeping it all to myself. And I kind of thought like my type A personality needed to control everything. But the moment that I passed on some duties to others, even having someone clean my house, like I thought I was the mom that had to do it all. Like I had to work and build a business and clean my house and make dinner and like be super mom. That was amazing. And it's really not that expensive, just to let you know. So I do have people, I do have an assistant. I do have a housekeeper. She comes every week. I do have, let's see, I said my husband helps me. I have a housekeeper. I have an accountant. I don't know, what else do I have? I co-lead challenge groups. Okay. Yeah, that's huge. So like you can also delegate and empower leadership from within your own team to help spread out some of the obligations and the duties. I never lead a sneak peek alone. I don't think you guys do either. I never lead a challenge group alone. I never do anything like related to like coach basics or boot camps or anything like that alone. I'm always asking for others to step up and help me. And here's the difference that I've made lately is that I'm asking Emerald coaches to do that with me. Because I know, and I've seen this, to be true throughout my entire business, is that when I empower leadership from others who don't see themselves as leaders, they soar. They see that, like a lot of people think they can't do what you're doing or what I'm doing or what Jenny's doing, or maybe you think that too, but you can, but you have to get in that 2% and just give it a shot. And so one of the things that I do to help delegate and take something off my plate is by empowering leadership from others, and I mean, Jenny probably does that too. Like if I'm leading a call, I don't always lead the call, and we need to hear from other people. We need to make other people feel valuable and like their voice matters. Okay. And Jenny, tell me this, what was number 4 that we were going to do? Was it about time management or systems?
Time management.
Oh, right. Okay. So I'll be speaking about this a little bit too on the wake up call a little bit. It's kind of like how you do this as a busy coach. So I had to have impeccable time management skills. I mean, like seriously, because I was working full time and kids and, this business and whatever, and I have all these obligations. We all are busy. We all have a million things to do. And so I do think that really successful coaches have amazing time management skills. We want to protect our priorities, which I would assume would be your current job if you have one, and your family. You never want your business to be your number one priority. I really don't think you should. And so if you see yourself spending like all this time and energy and all of your thoughts are just surrounding this business 24/7, you're going to become a prisoner to this business, and you're going to really resent it. And so you really have to create some specific strategies so that doesn't happen. And it's so easy to make that happen when everything is digital. It's awesome that we can work from our phones, but it's also kind of like a curse, right? Because those phones travel with us everywhere. And so I really had to make sure that I could protect my priorities. I had to communicate, what I was doing with my spouse, with my support system. And so some of the things that I really did is I had to make sacrifices, and meaning that I had to give up the old me, a lot of the old me, which was watching television and, having conversations on the phone that were just totally counterproductive of any kind of growth, and hanging out with the neighbors and having drinks, or, even some social situations that just weren't positive. I had to kind of clean my environment up a little bit. And so I had to make sacrifices, and some of those sacrifices were well received and some weren't, but it was worth it. And some of my sacrifices were even sleep. I think that if you really totally believe and you want to make this happen, then you're going to sacrifice some sleep. Janelle Summers even said she was up at 4 a.m. and going to bed at midnight, and I was too. And that may sound crazy, but if that vision is burning a fire in your belly, you know exactly why I did that. And maybe the time will come where that happens for you too. But I knew that I wanted and needed to work my business in more than 1 hour a day. And I chose to work it more than 1 hour a day. And so I worked it probably 4 or 5 hours a day some days, when I was in those stages of really just going for it. There was no stopping me. I worked in pockets of time. I could never really find an hour straight. And so that was something that I had to do. I think that busy people you have to find your pockets, but you can't work a pocket of time effectively until you know what you're going to be doing that day. I start every day with a to-do list, and I make the to-do list the night before. Because if I wake up and with little kiddos in my house, and you never know the way things are going to go, and your power hour in the morning or your time in the morning may get taken away from you for whatever reason, but at least you have your list, so you can then fit things in pockets of time. I did inviting blitzes. I did not work this business every day of the week. I did not do a power of 3s every day of the week. I did it about 4 days a week, and I did it in a blitz where I would sit down and do 20 invites or, 50 follow-ups, like whatever. Like I worked in blitzes. Like I could not and I've never done the power of 3s. Like, I don't know if that makes anybody like ruffle feathers, but I'm just being honest. I couldn't do it. It did not fit me. It didn't fit me, or it didn't fit my schedule. I had to make it work for me. I did all of the work in more, but I did it in 4 days. And that's why I created a whole nother system called the Daily Force. Because for me, I felt like if I'm doing all this inviting, then I've got 2 or 3 days of follow-ups, And so for me, that's what worked for me. So I did a lot of blitzing. I was always present in challenge groups. That was always the priority. I was always present for my team. I was always present as a mentor. But as a working coach, working on my personal business, I did it in blitzes. I was adding to my network every day. I was having conversations with people every day, but purposely inviting. I was doing them in blitzes because that's what had to work for me. Sit down, invite 20 people, boom. That's the way I did it. And then the last thing is that I had specific business hours that I kept, and always. And not only that, I mean, it was communicated, and I think I've said that before, but I've communicated those and I stick to those, and I have hands off time. I think that's something that's huge. And when I say hands off time, that means hands off from the business. I have time that I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I can't do a call. No, I'm sorry, I cannot do that. Or I don't answer messages during certain times. And that's been to protect my priorities, because like I said, I found myself, and we can't become a prisoner of this business with the dings and the beeps and the whistles and the whatevers. And so it's really important that we're aware of that and acknowledge that. We don't want to burn bridges. We don't want to make anyone angry. So we have to set business hours and stick to it in order to protect our priorities and to keep us sane. It will never all be done. You will never go to bed and have it all done, ever. Ever. I don't know, has anyone felt that way? Like, oh, I got it all done today. Check that all off the list. Boom. No. I mean, I never have. And so we just have to realize that. And we just have to say, okay, it's 10:30. It's time to shut down the office for the night. So anyway, okay, that is that. I could talk forever. So, and I probably have way too long here. So Jenny, what do you have? What do you need? What do you need me to talk more about?
Yeah, I feel like the natural next question would be, what are you most grateful in your life recently? But instead, I will just say, I'd love for you to tell us, you started off by saying that you feel like you're kind of in between a vision.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
Would you kind of circle back to that and tell us maybe what your vision is now that you've had this sort of epiphany?
Sure. Okay, well, it does involves land, and it involves a lot more freedom. Okay. And when I say that, David is there. I'm just going to tell you what I see right now. And it's a home that we've designed and we've built that's just perfect for our family. We're in a beautiful house now, but there's something about like buying a pre-existing home. You come into it and you have to make it your own, and we're wanting to remodel things, and it's just like, but this is ours. And my children are creative and they're dirty from playing outside, and we have a horse and chickens, and we have a place where we can take care of our in-laws, if we need to. And we just have a life bigger than we imagined. And with my children seeing that hard work and passion can pay off. I'm really big about them not feeling entitled, because I taught high school English for 14 years and I saw a lot of that. And I'm able to give my kids way more now than I ever received as a child. And so I want to make sure that they see me working hard for something, and they see me doing it for them. It's totally for them. And I see that. I see travel. I see us with a purpose so big, I can't even put my finger on it, but it looks like right now that we're going to buy land and build a house and just have things that I think we never even imagined. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Well, I know that David and Erin and Chris and I went to dinner together a few weeks ago, and I love being around Erin for a lot of different reasons, but I loved, you have a lot of connections, I feel like, with a lot of other top coaches. Mm-hmm. She's always kind of like giving me a little 2 cents on, like, oh, I talked to so-and-so. It's always like some big deal. David Atkins just spoke on her team call this week. And you were telling me, and I don't remember who it was. So who was it Summer Tucker? You were telling me about Summer Tucker and her husband and sort of their vision, and just Erin sharing it with me, on what Summer had shared with Erin was like a total, totally, I think, inspiring to hear what is possible in this business. And what I find so interesting is that no matter who you talk to, I'll say, the vast majority, if not all, of our successful top 2% coaches, I'll say, you know, you never hear about like a rank vision. You never hear about like, well, I just want to be this popular, or I want to be this successful, or I want my like page to be this big, or I want whatever. It always comes back to what they want for their life, like what you want for your life, what you see for your life. And I think that comes back to that why that makes you cry. Mm-hmm. And that is what wakes you up in the morning on a hard day and tells you, I'm going to text my success partner and tell her this day is going to be amazing, even though I'm scared to death to get through it. Because you know that you have something on the other side of it that's going to pull you through. You've got that huge vision. So I love that. And I'm glad you shared it. I'm glad we could circle back to that. Because, you know, it's cool. It's cool too to hear, you know, everybody has this vision of like, oh, I'm going to leave my full-time job and do this coaching. And, you know, you hear that often. And I'm not saying that everybody has that vision, of course, but you hear that often, and you don't often hear those same people say, hey, I now need to revise my vision because I need a bigger one, right? So that's pretty cool. So, okay, so I'm going to give everybody like maybe 3 or 4 minutes just, you know, to type a question in the chat, or, you know, that we're small enough if you guys want to just unmute yourself and ask a question. I hope you'll take advantage of Erin's ability to be on here, and I'm thankful for you doing this tonight, Erin.
No, you're welcome.
It's an hour of your evening, so I appreciate it, and I know everybody's very thankful. So if you guys have any questions, if you could either type it out or come off the mute.
It looks like people are talking about country music and dancing in the chat box. So I don't know if I missed that one. I don't know.
that was from earlier because I was playing country music, I think.
Oh, right. Okay. I missed that. I was replying to a couple people during that time.
Hey, have you and David done any more previews of Country Heat?
No, we haven't. Maybe we'll wait for summer break.
Yeah, maybe we'll leave that to someone else.
Yeah. Yeah, I've caught wind that there's the coaches who are going to be in the test group have started to kind of they know about that now. So I'm wondering, who's going to turn up to be in that test group?
Yeah. Wow. All right. Not me. I'm so grateful. Yeah. So grateful that wasn't me. Well, it's fun. It's kind of funny that like the first release that I received early as an elite coach was Country Heat. I told Chris, I was like, all the years of like P90X2, P90X3.
You rocked that workout. Don't even.
And they're like, oh, you get the advanced copy of Country Heat. And I was like, crap, I don't really want that. That's okay.
You did it. No, you were awesome.
It's going to appeal to a lot of people. So. Okay, no questions, you guys? I'm surprised. Okay. All right, cool. Well, I think that means you must have covered it well. So thank you again for your time. I know that we have a lot of coaches on here who are kind of working on their vision. They're working on what that vision looks like for them. They're working on how they can kind of get into the right business mindset, because it can be really easy not to. So I think this was the perfectly applicable topic for tonight. So thank you, my dear, for...
You are so welcome. Well, you guys have a good night, okay?
Sounds great. I'll see you Friday.
I'll see ya.
All right, bye-bye.